here and later on when we are all discussing together. I have this idea about this is about husbands and wives. It's said very, very commonly in all the tafasir that husbands can beat their wives. Very common. In every translation of the Quran you read that ayah. It is said that here it is talking about husbands and wives. Of course, we beg to differ, of course. It's only the Tolu-e-islam that differs from this point of view. And what I had in mind is that like 5,000 years ago, Hindus, for 5,000 years actually, they were believing that women should die when their husband is dead, that she has to burn. And it was being done till, of course, the English came, and with the power of their government and the authority, they stopped it forever, and Hinduism seems to have forgotten about all the injunctions, that, oh, this is part of the religion. Similarly, we know that in Pakistan, the Qadianis were, being fought against by the mullahs for 100 years, and they wanted to call them kafirs, but they never succeeded. Until, of course, due to certain circumstances, the government of Pakistan, Bhutto, you might say, promulgated that they are not Muslims, and then, of course, they became non-Muslims. So it is the main thing is who is the decisive authority. In this surat, which I want to actually, now we are actually going through another phase with the Muslims in general. Everywhere in the Western world, the question is there: why Muslim, are Muslim men supposed to beat their wives? If they are, then Islam is no good. We cannot allow Muslims to become part of humanity. They have to go. So there is a pressure, and Muslims have to now think about this question: can you really beat your wives? Is this about husbands and wives? That the beating has been mentioned in the Quran. Of course, in most of the translations, they have reached a conclusion. They say, oh well, you can beat your wife, but beat them lightly. That is in every translation now in brackets. But I want to actually say that this ayah, which is of course starts ar-rijalu qawwamun 'ala an-nisa, is talking about men and women, not about husband and wife. It is the men, qawwamun for the women. Here some kind of a division of labor is being talked about. Qawwam, of course, for a long time, 1,000 years, was said to be a dictator, sort of a supervisor, or you might say whatever. All those words which had men are powerful over women. But now this has taken place, changed after Mr. Prowess, I think, introduced the word that no, Qawwam means provider, nourisher, and bringing the foods to eat and everything like this. So because of that, this ayah is talking about a division of labor, and later it talks about women, that women have to take care of what God has given them to protect, which means the fetus that is in their body, and they take care of it. It is from nature, it is like a little oppression from God. The women have to give birth to a child. So there is a division of labor here. Women have to do this, and men have to provide for that. But this is not the end. After that it says, if the women revolt. There's a word nushuz, which we will talk about later in the next sitting. If the women revolt, they say, oh, revolt against whom? Oh, revolting against the husband. And the husband has to then beat her up. First, of course, he tries to be a nice guy. Okay, they talk to each other. Don't do this. Then later on, they separate from each other's beds. Of course, that is mentioned in the guy. And then later, he can beat her up. If she agrees to all this, then the main important word comes, which I really want to talk about here. I agree that maybe the women can be beaten. They have to be separated from, given a little separation in the houses, and they have to be, probably because I have a feeling by reading through, that women cannot be given a prison term, they cannot be put into prison. They have to be house arrested. So anyway, this beating just stops, and you can see this word. Just a minute. Vazrebuhunna is a word that is used there, that you can hit them, and it's followed by the word fa'in atanakum. فَلَا تَبْغُوا عَلَيْهِنَّ سَبِيلًا إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ عَلِيًّا كَبِيرًا. The word here is itaat. فَإِنْ آتَانَكُمْ, if the women submit themselves or become obedient to you. Now, who is this to you? That is the main question. This is not the husband, because nowhere in the Quran it is allowed to do itaat to husbands or to parents. There is a husn suluk, you can be good to each other. No way. This itaat is only atiyullah wa atiyur rasul wa ulil amri minkum. That's in one place, but mostly in the Quran it's atiyullah wa atiyur rasul. We know that it means the authority of the Quran, God through the Quran as well as the Rasul, and they form an authoritative system of government. They have the authority to do all these things. They can even, and this is because a woman has revolted nushuz. But anyway, it is at once followed by the next ayat where it says, وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ, and if you feel shikaka bainahima, that they are going to be, a lot of, let's say, party. I mean, they are not friends to each other. They want to separate. فَبَسُوا حَكْمًا مِنْ أَهْلِهِ وَحَكْمًا مِنْ أَهْلِهَا. So you appoint one person from her family and one person from his family to make them try to become, friends again. Now here, وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ. What is this in khiftum? Who is this? Because the other grammar is all talking about two people, the husband and wife. If they are fighting with each other, they do not agree, then you appoint. So this is a third party which is interfering in this problem. The third party has to be, on those days, of course, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam by himself. Later on, of course, the other governments, and whenever there is an Islamic government formed, it is going to be the reality. I mean, the person that interferes whenever husband and wife have a problem or issue, or when there is a issue of nushuz, which is against God, of course, in a way. And later on, the same word has been used for men also. If men do the nushuz too. And very surprisingly, in these translations, when the word nushuz comes for women, they translate it as she's doing something sexual out of marriage with somebody else. Everybody translates like that. When it comes to men, they say, oh, he is being cruel to his wife. So the two translations are very, strangely applied there. Anyway, I think I should stop here. We can talk about this topic, which is becoming very important nowadays. And I feel the Western world is probably going to interfere or force us to rethink about this, and maybe finally if we have an Islamic system of living. So it is about all this. Ataat is not between a person and a person or personal. It has to be related to a system, like of course the Nizam Islami, if it is there, will take care of all these things, will be interfering in, of course, all these things and making you submit to it. So atanakum doesn't mean submitting to your husband, it means submitting to the authority. Itaat is only allowed to those people who have been mentioned in the Quran. Thank you very much.
Thank you.